The following program contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, welcome to Ox After Dark, the late night, great night show where Dean, the Dream Martin, and myself talk about our dreams, our lives, our trials, our tribulations, and more. How we doing tonight, Dean the Dream?
Doing pretty good. No complaints here. Just was playing Elden Ring earlier. Oh, bro, that game is so fucking hard. Nice. Even now, 400 hours in, I'm level 350. My friends that I run with, they're like level 540, and we still get our fucking dick holes smashed.
Wow,
that's hard.
It sounds hard.
So hard, dude.
It does sound hard.
It's like, I was like, oh, bro, I got 2.5 hours to kill before the stream. Like, let's fucking run some shit. We were at the boss. It took the entire time to beat the boss.
Wow, I printed like 3 minis and a dice in that time. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. I had a good day today. It was a little rough last night. So during the show yesterday, I mentioned I was doing my first real print. And I mentioned on the show, I was like, I don't think it's coming out right, but it's a little too early to tell.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite seasoned yet, as they say. And as soon as we got done, I went to go check on it, and sure enough, everything failed. Like I think one thing printed properly, right? And I was confused because I had my 2 calibration tests perfectly printed. Everything seemed like it was working. My exposure was correct. My height was zeroed out. Everything stuck to the FEP, which is the bottom of the vat of resin.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, one, how the fuck do I get the shit off the FEP? Because I didn't know how to do that. So YouTube videoed that, figured that out. But the thing is, when you have a fail like that, you have to dump all the resin either back into the bottle or into a reservoir. And in doing so, you have to also strain it. I know you know this, but I'm for the people watching. Yeah. You have to strain it so that you can catch any of those little supports, right? So I call Victoria over, and I have ordered a more professional one, but in the kit there's like 20 of like these little paper filters or like to get you going, right? And I put that thing in the bottle, and I'm like, Victoria, hold this here, hold the bottle. I'm gonna pour this in, like easy peasy, right? We're gonna dump this. We're gonna fix the FEP, alcohol everything down, start fresh. Like try to identify our problems, right? Mm-hmm. While we're pouring in this fucking cheap ass paper cone, either the cone was like not like you were supposed to hold it together yourself, or the filter was just like way finer than I thought. But literally the entire vat of resin spilled out of the little filter, and it got fucking everywhere.
I was about to say, it fucking must have gotten everywhere.
Now
that shit smells too.
Now, fortunately, the water washable isn't that bad.
Oh, okay.
Are you here with us, Paul? You're looking like okay. Yeah, you look like you were a little lost there for a second.
No. Just making sure I'm connected.
It doesn't smell that bad. It definitely smells, but it's also like not. It's hard to explain. Like, it's almost like spilling honey. Like you can't really soak it up, right, with like a paper towel. You have to really like.
And you can't really touch it either.
Oh, that went out the window. I was like, this shit's about to get on the printer. It's about to get like on like everything. Like I was just like emergency mode, right? I didn't think it was gonna go like this.
Yeah, never.
I finally get everything cleaned up, and I'm like, well, that was about probably $10 worth of resin right there. That was fun. A little swift kick in the nuts. And I'm thinking like, what the fuck happened? And so I'm messaging Ian last night. It's like 2, 3 in the morning. I'm thinking like I genuinely don't understand what happened. And I think in my thought process, because I did fix it by the morning, I ran a second print overnight, kind of got my feet back under me. Ian's like, dude, don't worry about it. Failures are going to happen the first 2 or 3 weeks. You're going to be figuring it out. Like, even today, he's like, I still have failed prints all the time. It's not a big deal. And so I think I figured it out. So when you have with the resin printer, you get the build plate, right? And you take a metal scraper and you kind of like push off the miniature, like the suction of the miniature to the build plate. Then you take it and you take the supports off and you cure it. All the videos that I had seen, people were holding it by the ball joint. And some of the videos that I saw said like, don't tighten the build plate like crazy tight. And so I didn't. And so it was, what I think happened was I grabbed that ball joint, I popped it off, and it maybe just went from being perfectly level to like just like that, just enough where that first layer wouldn't hit the FEP on any of it. Because like I said, there was one print that did fine. It didn't do like amazing, but it printed, right? And so I was like, okay, I think that's it. Let me re-level my bed. Let me re-Z out the bed. I'm going to increase my bottom layer exposure time just a touch to like for sure eliminate any issues. And I've since then, I don't know that's much to brag about, but I've got about 85% success since then. And the times that I've failed, I'll go back and look at the file and be like, oh, I should have added a support there. Like that was on me. That's not on the printer. And it feels good. It genuinely feels good. I'm going to show some of these prints that I've done. I haven't done too many just yet. Just because like if it was like a Saturday, I could be chugging the shit out all day. But even like a 2 or 3 hour print, I start in the morning. I can't get back to it till like 4 or 5. So this is like the first kind of 3 minis that I really did. So that's Dean's. Dean, tell us about this character here on the left. This is very important to you.
Yeah, that's Trundle. He's our trusty,
faithful steed.
Yeah, well, he's not trust.
He's also not really a
trustful.
steed.
No, he's not a steed. He's our little donkey boy.
He's our donkey boy.
We had, at the very beginning of our campaign, we had 2 donkeys. And one of them got eaten. And I was like, bro, I'm not going to lose both of our fucking donkeys. So we saved Trundle, and he's been with us ever since. And now he's my, like, what's the word? He's not like a tangible donkey anymore. He's like a
ethereal.
Yeah, he's
transcended the mortal plane.
Yeah, he can like kind of
be summoned
realms. Yeah, so
yeah, he's a sweet boy, and I love him. And the next 2 minis on the left there, that's season 1 Ozal with the sort of Gandalf outfit, and on the right, that's season 2 Ozal, which is like currently where we're at. Now, that was fun, and I also printed
the resolution on that printer, because those look really good.
Yeah, so this is 4K, okay. But I've seen like really solid prints with 2, like at this scale, 2K, 4K, 8K, like they're pretty comparable. Oh no, DJ says catching the show live since I think I caught the cove. Already taking a sick day off on the 4th day of the school year. Damn, bro. Fucking love you, DJ. These are Vor. Vor is my ethereal beast of burden. If you listen to the D&D show, he's appeared in the form of an owl, which I actually have printing right now. Tressum, which is a flying cat that is immune to poison and is very magical in nature. They can see things that are invisible. And then the flying snake, which is obviously a snake with wings. And he's my sweet boy. And then, of course, I couldn't be getting this far into the 3D printing journey without printing Mark Pearson, who was supposed to be here, but I don't know where he's at. But his character also, I do plan to print all of our characters, but Mark has pitched in so much for this printer and all the equipment, so I felt it only right to make our first official print his miniature. So a little bit of a steep learning curve, did waste quite a bit of resin, but you know, I'm having fun, right? Also this week, I know DJ mentioned it, first week of school, getting used to a whole new schedule, and it's kicking my fucking ass. Usually on a good day, I have to be at work at 9 every day. On a good day, I'm like running in at 9:05. Like, wake up, quick shower, fucking out the door. You know, leave by 8:40, 8:45. Bro, Vivi has to be at school by 7:30, bro. Oh. And that means we have to wake up, get her dressed, get her like fully ready to be in school, feed her breakfast. It is a fucking, I don't say it's a nightmare, but it's a toughie.
Is she in an actual grade now or
She's in kindergarten, so
kinder? Okay.
ish.
Yeah, that technically counts. It's not like daycare anymore. It's
toughie,
like an
bro.
actual school.
Is it a full day situation or is it like a half day setup?
So it's 7 to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Yeah, 7 hours, 7
Yeah,
to
that's good.
2:30.
Yeah, that's solid.
I fucking wish it was 9 though. Fuck, man. Jesus Christ. And the thing is, which is good for me. Like we walk her to school because we live so close to the school. It's a nice little like mile walk in every morning so far. It's not too bad. But man, it. And the thing is, like once you like get up out of bed and like walk around, have to be like cognizant yourself. It's like hard to get back to bed for me. So I'm a changed man. What can I say? What can I say?
You get used to it. That's last year I had to take my oldest like 6:30. She had to get on the bus and drop her off at the school, get her off going. So it was 5:30, 5:45. I had to get up with her, make sure she was up. I'm usually up by like 5 most days, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
early,
Steph.
Early mornings are never.
I feel bad. Steph asked me like VV sizes like a week ago, and I saw the message, and I was like, "Oh, ask Victoria," and then we got so busy, and then she asked me again, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm 3D printing, and I forgot to ask." So that's my apologies. I would say I will try my hardest to get those sizes. I promise. I'm working on it. It's a whole procedure. It's a whole procedure. You should hear how many times Victoria has to tell me one thing. Steph says I dropped my first grader off at 7-ish and wait in parent pickup line at around 2:30-ish for a 3:15 pickup. That line starts at 1:20. That's interesting. I do have things I want to talk about, but Paul, how was your day thus far?
pretty good. Can't complain. Got our fall break all planned and stuff like that. So
Are you coming to San Antonio?
yeah, I think we're gonna make it. So I was
Whoa!
gonna message you. So yeah,
Wait,
it
hang
looks
on.
like-
Let me hit you with the Jamaican horn real quick. Hang on. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, baby. Let's fucking go. I'm going to add you to the chat right now.
Yeah, I'll get
Oh.
you details of our flights and everything.
Well,
Festivities
just
are on the 8th, right? Is that correct? Or is it the 7th?
It's like the whole weekend, I think. I think there's one day that Dean won't be able to make it, but I think other than that... yeah, so 9th... Oh, that's September. Just kidding. 7th, 8th, and 9th is the festivities. Let me add you to this list. It's a bit wild already.
The 8th, I'm standing in a wedding, so it's like an all day.
Poor guy. Poor guy.
What's up, buddy?
Poor
What's up,
guy.
guys?
Hey, Ben.
What's up,
Yeah,
man?
well, 1-6 go, man. How come you don't check my levels anymore? Leo, I love you, bro. But you've transcended my teachings.
I was gonna say he's ascended. He
It's-
don't need it.
Dean, what more? What's the word here? What? I'm trying to. I have it on the tip of my tongue here, but how could a mentor be less proud than when his student surpasses him? I'm
Yeah.
proud. Leo's the star.
apprentice
There,
has become the master.
There we go. Leo's doing big things. I feel like you're beyond me checking your levels, my guy. You're killing it. But I did. It's funny, Leo's in the chat, and this doesn't. I'll say this, Leo. This doesn't have to do specifically with your post, which I thought was very eye-opening. This is more about my post and my experiences. Please don't take this the wrong way. But I did want to talk about the student loan forgiveness, which is a hot topic today.
Yeah.
Now, I went to school for 3 years and a half, and I graduated. And I went basically as fast as I could, because you're paying room and board, you're paying food, the tuition's basically the same, but like there's things outside of school, right? And sophomore, junior, senior year, I worked 40 hours a week with 15 to 20 hour semesters for those 3 years, so that I could graduate with still a lot of debt, but like a manageable amount, right? I obviously had some help from some people, but I mean, even then I graduated, it was like $20,000, right? And that was like pretty good. There's people
that's
out there,
pretty
100,000, 60, 70,000. I think Victoria had 35,000. And I'm really happy about what happened today. And in some ways, like, I get it, right? Like, if you've been, killing yourself to make those payments, I was one of those people. I killed myself to make my payments. I had paid that loan down, all the way down to, I think when I checked today, it was like $2,000, right? And this announcement today is basically going to wipe the slate clean, right, with my student loan. And I'm so ecstatic about that. I worked hard. I've been paying it. Obviously with COVID, I think like I haven't made like a real, like a normal odd, like a required payment in a while, but I've been working hard. We've been putting our tax refunds into it when we get them. We've been doing what we can, right? Holy fuck, dude, the comments I've seen today. This one lady on Facebook, my son said that if this happens, he's no longer going to be a Democrat. What about me? I paid my student loans off, 15 years ago. Or what about me? I make over the threshold. Why can't I get my loans taken care of? This is illegal action, all this stuff. This is treasonous. Why should my tax dollars have to pay for these people? If you take out a loan, you should pay it back. And I understand a lot of those sentiments, but a lot of those people that have those sentiments also show support for a lot of people that have taken tremendous COVID-related loans that were forgiven by the government, and they have no problem with that. They have no problem with us spending billions bailing out the banks, billions bailing out the auto industry, billions bailing out businesses during COVID. For billionaires, millionaires. Kanye West got loans. I mean, fucking Jared Kushner got loans. Like, very wealthy people got loans that were forgiven. And little old me, I'm getting like a $2,000 check from the government. And I'm thrilled that, even, and the thing that really upsets me is I see people that are like, well, I have $100,000 in debt. This does nothing. I mean, sure, but you're also, $10,000 to $20,000 less in debt, which is incredible, right?
That's a big chunk.
Yeah, I mean,
20%.
I think you have to be appreciative that anything is happening, because there's been a lot of people saying this for a long time. Nothing's gotten done, and apparently that's a controversial opinion. I had this guy, that good friend of mine's like, well, my parents are smart, and I, they taught me how not to get into debt, and it was a very like kind of condescending comment. And I'm like, my parents are very smart. My mom's a master's in biology. My dad is in the military, served his country for 20 years. I have debt, but it's not because they're not smart, right? It's just the way she goes, as they say, Ben. And I think it's certainly a Band-Aid solution, right? There's the reason why this is happening isn't necessarily because of COVID. These interest rates are crazy high. Tuition is stupid expensive in America. And and a lot of times, I personally didn't want to go to school, if I'm being completely honest. I wanted to join the Air Force.
I stopped going to school.
And I commend you for that.
Yeah.
But I genuinely
I
felt...
was like, bro, I don't want to be saddled with debt. Like,
I knew that the things that I wanted to do, but I felt very pressured by my parents. Like, this is how you're going to get a better a better life.
Same, dude.
And
Same.
to be honest, I haven't used my degree really almost at all. It hasn't really helped me. And I think that was kind of when I was in school, that was always what we were drilled. You won't be successful if you don't go to college. And I think that's a dangerous mentality. You can make an absolute killing doing all kinds of trade, craft.
Yeah.
I think, working with your hands. Mark does amazing work with home renovations. I wish he was here. And he'll be the first to tell you, I'm not book smart, but I'm a smart man in other ways. And I think DJ makes a great point. College was $14 back then.
Sometimes having a degree is worse for you. My dad has a master's in criminal justice and something else. Anyway, when he retired from SAPD, because he was a cop for 30 years, he tried to become a teacher. And a lot of schools were like, you're overqualified. We can't pay you what you're worth because you have a master's. Sorry. We're going to hire someone else. We don't have to pay as much. So it was like a detriment that he fucking got his degree in the first place.
Wow.
And that happens all the time. My
Crazy.
sister looked for a job for years to be a teacher, and no school would hire her because they were like, we can't afford to pay you.
Yeah, and the thing that bothers me is like I have a degree. Like I said, I've tried to use it. I've never been able to get a job with my degree, and like there's jobs that I'm applying for now, is, you can have a bachelor's degree in digital media or whatever, or 3 years of experience in creating content. So I applied as like a content creation. I was like, dude, I fucking been doing that for 4 years. Like I know how to do this stuff. And that's just stuff that we just fucking hit the ground running and just did ourselves. We don't have to fucking pay, $80,000 for.
Yeah.
DJ makes a great point. Sorry, Dean. Drilling that mentality to 18-year-olds. I was a freaking dingus at age. I changed majors 3 times.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I changed it twice.
I think that's one of the major problems of why, I mean, the college industry in America is predatory for, I would say, at least 50% of the degrees. I mean, there are so many worthless degrees that are not marketable, that don't make sense to go into debt or to pay that level of money, that when you enter the workforce, they're just not marketable. They're not in need. And it's predatory for these colleges to have spent over the last 30 years. One, politicians and culture in general have, like you said, brainwash people into thinking, hey, you got to go to college to be successful, which is not true. It definitely lends itself to advancement in certain careers. But that's one thing I'm positive about with this bailout, I'll call it. The thing I hate about it, though, is that it's on the taxpayers to fit the bill instead of letting some the universities should pay it back. These universities with huge grants and endowments, they should be paying it back for, basically preying on people, especially people like he says at 18 years old. You're an idiot. All of us are idiots mostly. Yeah. You all just get sucked into this, and
I
it makes
will
a lot of
say,
sense for some people, but
I don't really get that sentiment, right? Like my tax dollars are going to that. Like sure, probably a couple of bucks here and there going to that, but bro, like we bail out.
I know
massive industries
Yeah,
all the time.
Just because one.
And I'm not making that argument because I'm against all of that. I'm against the bank bailouts, the military, the amount of spending, and it's just
Taxation is theft. Let's get that fucking
I'm with
straight
Dean
right
on
now.
that, but
all of it is. But back in the day, when our parents were growing up, that may have been true, right? Go to college, you'll have better opportunities, sure. But as time has progressed and everybody starts going to school, when everybody's special, nobody's special. So it's like you're going into debt to compete with 300 million other people.
Yeah.
When, back in the day, I think my dad was the first person in his family to go to college. Like, that was a huge step back then, but now it's pretty ordinary.
Yeah, there was a huge push in the 80s and 90s to get as many people into college as possible. And I think that was, it obviously in hindsight wasn't a good plan. And it was good for the universities, but it wasn't good for Americans in general.
You have to also realize like the time, like even that my parents were living in, right? My parents were 25 when they had me. So that's the age I had Vivi. At, I want to say 22, 23, my dad is like, I think like an E2, like in the Air Force, like not a private, but like certainly not, like the bottom rung of the military. My mom, a college student, bought their first house, and I asked them recently how much because we just bought our first house. First house was $18,000, and it was a very nice neighborhood. Probably 1990, they bought that house.
Jesus.
And it was 3-bedroom, 2-bath, like big ass yard.
Crazy.
That same house now is like a $350,000 house.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just, other generations have had it different than we've had it. And I just genuinely feel like this is a good thing. And it just, it makes me upset to see people that I know, people that I love, just spew this awful vitriol about this shit. It's fucking incredible how ignorant people can be.
Yeah.
Well, and like
And,
Canada's Sorry,
Go ahead,
sorry,
sorry.
Zach. I thought
No,
you were done your,
you go,
done your
man.
thought. You know, like Canada's obviously a little different than the States, but I think we have a lot of the same beats as well. Because it was the same way for me. Like, you know, I was expected at 18 to go to right to university. Like, college wasn't even an option. It was like, if you're going to be successful, you're going to university. And I remember the stress of being 18, trying to like get my marks, you know, right, and trying to get into these colleges, and then the stress of getting a couple of those, you know, letters or that you don't get in, and then you finally get into one, and you're like, okay, thank God, right? And like, I went in and I got a psychology degree, and when I got out, after a couple of years of doing that, I couldn't find a job that paid anything more than going into like an entry level position at the bank. Like literally zero education. I could go get a job at the bank, no problem. And then from there, like now I work in paint. So I got the psychology degree. It's a nice piece of paper hanging on my wall that I literally do nothing with. And it cost me 60,000 Canadian dollars to get that on my
Oh, it was
wall
like 20 bucks.
for like, you know, I think that the challenge though is that like, I think if you want to go to school, school should be affordable. Like they need to make schools more affordable for the people who want to
At
go.
least
Okay,
general
well,
education. Yeah.
Yeah.
General education for sure.
The problem, at least down here, is government subsidies that pay
Helps
the
people stay lazy.
schools. Yeah, it's like, hey, school's kind of expensive. We'll pay half the tuition for every student that goes here. So university is like, oh, well, if they're going to pay half, why charge $2,000 a semester when we could charge $15,000?
That's crazy.
And then
Yeah,
we'll
it's
get
gouging, right?
$30,000.
It's crazy.
That's the problem. Is
It needs to
government
be
intervention.
regulated.
The
It needs to be
fucking
regulated.
government needs to get their fucking hand out of the fucking honeypot.
Well, because on the other hand, like when I was in school, you know, like this is aging me a little bit, but they didn't have things like TikTok and YouTube and stuff that, or like they had YouTube, but like not necessarily the way that it makes people famous now. You know, you post one good dancing video on TikTok and suddenly you have like 18 million followers and you're making some serious coin. Like for younger generations now, like why would they put themselves into that kind of crazy
yeah.
debt if they could go into like things like TikTok and actually try and make shit happen for themselves? The problem is that's not necessarily advancing the world either, right? Like we don't want a society of people that don't know how to do anything. They're all
Yeah.
just like they all just dance all the time, but like nobody knows how to do anything anymore.
Yeah, Zach
Like
made a good point about trade jobs. Trade jobs are increasingly rare, and in that,
Yes.
they can make fucking serious
Dude,
money.
60 grand on a-
mechanics,
Yes.
plumbers, the shit people don't want to do. That's the shit that fucking pays.
even for my own house, like I own my own house now. The other day, I had to fix like this little pipe on the toilet, and I was like sweating it because I'm like, you know, like I've never done this. What if I flood my basement? All this shit, right? I've got a $60,000 piece of paper on my wall that says psychology. Oh, that's nice. But I'm nervous about fixing my toilet. If I'd gone into plumbing, I would have been making like 150 grand a year. You know,
Yeah,
like,
imagine putting that money down on another property and then using that property
crazy.
to earn more
That
money.
would have got
Like,
me money in the bank. Like so many things, right? But at the same time, as I said, you don't want a society of uneducated people either. Like there has to be some
Right.
regulation on that.
I think where it could start is teaching shit that's actually fucking valuable in schools. Because I don't think I learned a single thing in school that I use on a day-to-day basis. It's like, bro, you should have taught me how to be doing my fucking taxes. You should have
Balance a
been teaching me-
checkbook, bro.
Yeah,
Interest
like-
rates, like
Like you have to take some kind of shop class, a mechanic course, like something.
basic plumbing, bro. Like fucking
Bro,
easy shit like that.
Yeah,
But if
and
they
there
taught,
are trade
if they
schools.
taught that stuff, then people would understand that when the government creates money, inflation occurs and things go haywire, and then they wouldn't have the control. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's this problem. If you taught people all those how to maintain their lives, the government wouldn't need to exist at the
Yeah.
level that it exists.
And that's another
that's a
problem,
problem.
is the schools also get money from the government for every student that's there every day. Hey, we'll give you $2,000 for a student, for every student that's in your classrooms every day. Maybe it's not $2,000, whatever the number is. That's why schools fucking want you to be there, and they fucking will expel you for truancy and shit. It's like, hey, you're costing us fucking money. You get in this fucking classroom and you sit here. They don't really
Yeah.
give a shit what they're teaching you.
No.
So
Packets
kids,
and shit.
especially me, I was so bored in school. Like I was like,
Sukatri made a great point today and let me just read this quick. 1/6 Scale Man Ox, my post exposed a lot of people we know in the community. I was like, wow, now I know how you really feel empathy erased. Yeah, it was bro, that was a toughie. Mine didn't get that bad, but bro, yours, fuck, dude, yours got bad.
I went to look at it. I was like,
didn't see
God
it.
damn.
Let's
What did his post say?
you know, he was just saying like, you know, what are your thoughts, comments?
Yeah,
down
like,
below,
what do you
all
think
that.
about the?
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, Dean. What were you just saying? You had a great point. I wanted to.
Oh, I was saying that the just more government intervention, giving schools money for students being there. So the school really doesn't give a shit what they're teaching you. They just want
thank
you
you,
in
thank
there.
you, thank you, thank you. I went to school, and the school that I went to for undergrad, that particular degree is one of the more competitive degrees. Like, of all the schools in Texas that teach that type of program as a pre-physical therapy, that school was like closer to the top, and that physical therapy school, that, you know, is basically the feeder school for that university, very, very, very competitive, one of the best in the state. Every single class I went to, PowerPoint, PowerPoint, PowerPoint. You're just sitting there reading slides. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, they're not teaching.
And there's, you know, like Khan Academy, like where they're genuinely teaching stuff for free. I've learned more, to be completely honest,
on the internet.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
I've learned more in my life of how to do things from you. It's ridiculous, and that's why I'm so passionate about making content, because in some way, if I can help someone with something somewhere, I think that's invaluable, and I've gotten so much from that also. Yeah, I
So, Zach, you finished your degree, or you stopped early?
yeah, no, I
Okay,
graduated.
so you finished, Ben
undergrad,
finished,
yeah.
and I finished, and all three of us regret going.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So
I dropped
What
out.
it taught
So,
me
yeah,
how
for-
to learn. It helped me learn how to communicate, how to read people. Like, there's a lot of good. Like, I bring psychology into sales all the time, right? Like, it definitely helped me in the world. But then I look back at some of the courses that you had to take in order to actually get that piece of paper on the wall, and
Yeah.
like I needed a soft science, right? They were like, you have to have a soft science, and it can be, you know, it can be whatever you want of the picks, right? And I was like, okay, like random. Like psychology, like, you know, fine. I chose astronomy because I thought astronomy would be a bird course. I thought it would be one of those courses that I could just
Oh,
kind of
no.
like ride through. I didn't know fucking anything about astronomy. It was the hardest course I've ever taken, dude. There was so much to know. It was
I be honest?
crazy.
I had the same thing in Texas State. We had to take two semesters of English, and this one professor that I had for English 2 ruined probably my whole life was ruined by this guy, like academically wise, right? I was a what is, like, Kuma sum laude, like
Yeah.
the lowest one of those things. Like, there's
Yeah.
like the
There's
you're
the
about that life.
Magnum and the Sigma.
Whatever the lowest one of that is. At any rate, I missed
triple
it
latte.
by like 0.01 on my GPA because of this motherfucker right here. He would have you write an essay a week, right? But any error in grammar automatically deducted you a grade letter.
God.
So a
damn.
comma, a period, a run-on sentence. It got to the point I'd be 3 a.m. in the library working with a tutor, like, are you 100% sure that I could use a comma here or that I don't have, like, and I would constantly begin like C's and B's and this like easy shit, right? It was, I think the average for that class was like a D. It was awful. I got a fucking C. And I'm an excellent, obviously you guys hear me every week, I'm an excellent, I have great, I have the best words, Dean. Some say I have
Well,
all the words, and and it's
All the words.
and I think TK makes a great point. Stagnant wages have dragged down families. My job fucking sucks. I've been trying to get a new job, honestly, for you sent Lane the link, right, Dean?
no.
Oh, can you send Lane the link, please? I've been trying to find a job, honestly, like genuinely, for like 2 years, and it hasn't happened. I've been trying to get out of my situation, but my wife works for an amazing company, and she's gotten like 10 raises, like in like 2 years. They just gave like $1,000 bonus out of nowhere. Like, oh hey, inflation sucks. Here's $1,000. Like, an incredible company. And meanwhile, I'm fucking sitting here trying to fucking find a job. It's like I have a job, obviously. I'm not working, but it's a fucking pain in the ass. It's a pain in my.
I don't think any of us actually work after seeing all the chats all the time.
And that again, that all goes back to, since the government is subsidizing colleges, They want you there as long as fucking possible, bro. They want you as fat so they could fucking slaughter you and reap in all the benefits. It's like, no, you have to take fucking 8 math courses and 7 sciences. It's like, why? I'm gonna be doing English. Why do I need to take all this bullshit?
That's what I mean, astronomy and psychology. Like, what?
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Why am I taking this? It's because they want your fucking money and the government's money. Because the
Yeah, when I
government
went to
subsidizes
when I
it.
went to school at Texas State, maybe I really fucking hated Texas State, to be honest. Now I'm thinking about it. I met Victoria there, that was great. But I took AP in high school, so that's like college credit, like you get like college algebra in high school. Then I took calculus first year in college, and then the second year I took business calculus because again that was some fucking requirement for some reason. And then when I was gonna graduate senior year, they're like, "Hey, you need to take college algebra," and I'm like, "No, I have taken it in high school. Like I literally don't have to do that. Like if it was a different state, they can make the argument like it's not the same curriculum, whatever." Bro, tell me, I had to spend like $1,000 to take that stupid fucking class. Yep. Literally, I got 106 in that class. That was my grade. Like, I'm really good at math. I'm not really good at, obviously English, of course, because I'm a great speaker and all that. But math, I'm very good at. And
yeah, I always thought you were a literary genius waiting to explode there, Zach.
Jesus Christ.
What the hell is wrong with your audio?
Yeah, what's wrong with your audio, Lane?
Sounds like you're sitting out in traffic, Lane.
Oh. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Anyways, I was literally bored, falling asleep in class. The professor thought I was a fucking idiot, and I would get like 110 on every fucking. I missed one question all semester, and it was like, bro, I was spending like 4 hours a week doing like math homework, like that was required. It was exhausting. Lane, your mic is really messed up, bro. I don't know what's going on.
Because I'm not making any sound or anything.
No, we can hear you.
Okay.
That's bad.
Anyways, so yeah, it's
I just had to say you guys made me feel like a fucking moron since I did 3 college degrees.
You did what?
3 college degrees.
Oh, you fucking idiot! No, I'm just kidding. What did you do, Lane?
I work at a CRO, pharmaceutical company.
So you're a pharmacist?
No, I work for a company that runs clinical studies for.
What degrees did you get? I guess is what I'm asking.
I got a 4-year degree in history. I got a 2-year associate's degree and a 2-year degree in video game design.
Hell yeah, baby! Let's fucking go.
So 2 of the 3 I have. So 3 of the 3 I don't use for anything I do on a daily basis.
So they sound badass though. That's a
well,
a nice set of
with money well thrown into the. No, I don't have a
System.
fan. I have literally nothing else going on around me.
Steph says I was a stay-at-home mom for the past 8 years. A trade school is looking good right about now. Bro, I wish I was like mildly attractive. I would just start an OnlyFans, to be completely honest.
Dude, there's some interesting
like
folks out there. You might
Mongol.
actually have a following. You never know.
Really?
You
Yeah.
never know.
2,000 people
Denise
already watch your YouTube channel.
Wow! I'm doing.
I'm
it,
just
though.
saying.
I mean, Denise Richard just started one, and she.
Yeah,
looks
imagine you
old
get
now.
100,
Yeah,
a couple
she's
hundred people
amazing.
paying $20 a month.
Dude, I can't even get 100 people to sign up for Patreon. You think I'm gonna get them to sign up for OnlyFans?
Well, that's
You just need-
You're
you
not
just-
showing your butthole on
that
that.
contribute to Patreon. I mean, look what else.
No, I'm gonna do tasteful. I'm gonna have like a
glorious,
a
sexy faces,
hot
trying to
toys
attract people in.
covering my butthole. To be
Just
very
like
tasteful.
Paint,
just
paint
need
your paint your figures with your feet. You're good.
You just need
People
a
are
couple
shit.
whales. You get 2 or 3 whales that just drop money on every post,
Dude,
and
I'd be
solid.
down for a sugar mama. I'd be 100% down as long as they're Latina. 100%.
It sounds like
Back to
you
the-
already have a sugar mom over there getting $1,000 bonuses
Yeah,
here and there.
seriously.
Well, I didn't get that $1,000. I asked her to buy me a D&D thing that I wanted, and it's still in question. So
So you
so
find.
much
Oh,
question.
by the way, you finally decided
being
you submitted
reviewed.
you're gonna go get that Tiamat statue.
no, I'm gonna get not the Tiamat statue. It's the Yawning Portal Inn diorama set. Now that I have all these fun minis, I want to put our minis in a fucking tavern, and it's $350 retail, but I found a place that has it for
$2,100
Focus
statue.
Lane. I saw a place that has it for $265.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
send him a link of that like every day once it goes up.
Every day
for-
Lane's sending me pictures of Tiamat. I'm like, bro, if it was Bahamut, maybe, but fucking Tiamat, that fucking gabagool. Yeah,
It
it's
made Avenger run for the skies.
yeah. Do you play D&D, Lane?
No, I only really knew the animated series.
Come on, Lane.
What?
Look at this. Look at this. So
And
Paul
I
was
played
nice.
a lot of the D&D games like Baldur's Gate.
Paul was
and
nice enough
Icewind Dale.
to buy us. Oh wow. Some custom dice, but with this 3D printer, I was like, well, why can't I just print our own custom dice? So I made
Ooh, nice.
That's
a
nice.
dice with the Council of Ozol symbol on it, and it came
Awesome.
out okay. There's a little bit of support stuff I got to figure out, but I'm like, damn, I printed this for like 10 cents.
Paul's like,
We paid
okay,
him, like-
where's my fucking money?
Yeah, do I get a
How dare you,
bailout
Paul.
for that dice
Little
money?
kickback.
Okay, well, there's already one bailout ball. Jesus Christ.
Hey, can you print those out of a hard resin, like a harder resin, like the dice, or is that?
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I need to buy more resin because I fucking spilled like half of it like a fucking idiot. But they also sell resin that's clear, so it'll be like I mean, this is pretty hard. Like I think this feels like as hard as a normal dice. I also haven't rolled a 20 on this, and it's kind of concerning. But yeah, they sell like clear resin. So I'm gonna buy a blue one because my character all about that blue.
To
I
answer
told
your-
you, Steph, you got to start an OnlyFans. Jesus,
Yeah,
it's not that
you-
hard.
well,
Just go on the website.
You just
The-
go on the
what-
website.
Hey, just a heads up. Looks like Marty from Back to the Future is low stock now at Sideshow, the Hot Toys figure.
Lane,
Oh,
we
yeah,
don't
hate to
talk
see
about
it.
toys
I
on the
kn-
channel. Oh,
I
crap.
knew, but that's something I just
Why
didn't
did you bring
notice
it up?
because it was, I thought, relevant. Maybe somebody.
I didn't. I actually didn't know that, Dean. I would have talked about toys. There's
Steph
no rules
is-
listed.
Yeah, no.
Steph is
Well,
on.
I would just make a quick comment, but yeah, no. My mom didn't let me near D&D when I
Come
was
on,
little.
Lane. Play D&D with us, bro. Here we go. Steph says y'all like feet, so if anyone wants to get in on that, message Steph on
Oh,
auxiliary.
to be fair, I've seen Steph feet.
They're
Wasn't
pretty
a
good.
fan. They're not good at all, actually.
Wow.
That's so mean.
I don't like feet, so.
Unless it's Marissa Tomei's.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh well, that's
May
the,
her toes be in my mouth.
well.
Wow.
That's like my favorite, like kind of meme thing back when No Way Home was coming out, from when they had put out the original trailer. You know, from the original trailer, they had the thing of Doc Ock, and they were showing, you know, like Aunt May from that timeline, and he has the smirk on his face and
Dude,
everything.
he's a fucking dog, bro.
I was also
Doc-
Steph. I was just kidding.
Lane lives I know that went 180. I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna give her a compliment. I was like, wow. I was trying to rat in tat. Lane lives a sheltered life. Wasn't allowed to pay D&D. Sean used to be buttholes and bidets only on After Dark. Don't make me come on there.
Come on here.
Well, Paul missed out when, like, last week we were all talking about, you know, bathroom patterns for how to stand or around or
Dude,
upside
I took a
down
shit
on the
on
I think I
Monday?
joined in on the
Toilet bowl.
chat.
Let me
I
tell you
spoke
this.
my piece in chat.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I took a shit that was so bad on Monday, and I felt filthy. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna use the bidet. I honestly think, you know, like how there's like water jets that can cut metal, right?
Jesus.
I think I hurt my butthole, like because all
You
Monday,
power washed your ass.
bro. I think it was a little
Hate to see
little
it.
puckered on Monday.
You might have a
Oh my
fissure,
God.
man. Those are no joke.
But a what?
A fissure.
Oh, it was a fisherman.
fissure,
I was like, no, he was
no,
he
you've
was a
got
plumber.
fissure. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Fisher, hardly know her.
I kept saying that no doc
Don't
on the
look-
J&D life
No,
affair.
don't look
go.
it up. You'll ruin
Don't
your.
Don't look it up. Don't
Fissure.
look it up.
No, let's not look it up, please.
You got to
Let's
share your
Damn it.
screen though.
This guy kind of looks like Lane. Just kidding.
You got to turn image safe search off.
Oh,
get the-
dude, I think I had that. A small tear in the lining of the anus.
I think I
Probably.
remember that was supposed to be something like the wrestler X-Pac, like years ago when he like missed his Bronco Buster and he like tore his ass.
Oh my god! I just
bouncing
saw a
off,
picture of someone's anus, and it was.
Didn't you
ripped.
say something fell on your T-Rex the other day though, but that you didn't say what it was that fell on the
maybe it
T-Rex?
was-
Oh,
I'm
this
just saying.
the plot thickens.
Wait, what are we?
saying.
What is the fuck is Ben
Was it the
saying?
was it the T-Rex that gave you a fissure in your ass after you fell on it the other day? After telling us the story that something fell
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
T-Rex?
Ben. I
but-
fell from the ceiling onto the.
You never know,
fucking
okay? I'm
idiot,
just-
bro. Does
I'm
gravity
just
work
saying.
different in Canada, bro?
It does actually.
Idiot.
Depends how much weed you've smoked, okay? It depends
John
how
said-
much weed you've
John
smoked.
said I had. John said I had. Time out. John said I had toe thumbs today. I was like, you motherfucker! I don't have toe thumbs, you idiot. That's like, are toe thumbs different in
Let
Canada?
me see your thumbs.
And then, well, hang on. Mark Phillips, we're like, hey, October 6th through the, whatever. Collecting Weekly meetup, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I have the Gorillaz concert that weekend. I'm in." And I'm like, "Oh shit, fuck yeah, bro!" Like, I didn't know you were gonna be in San Antonio. He's like, "Oh no, I can't make it." I'm like, "Does I'm in mean like something different in Canada?" It's cultural differences, man. It's fucking cultural differences.
I don't know
It's
if we're
true.
quite that far off though. In cultural differences.
It's a joke,
Canada.
man.
Let me see your thumbs.
Look, these are normal thumbs, not a toe
Those
thumb.
are normal thumbs, bro. If you want to say toe thumbs, look at Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
We've-
Look, I'm gonna
we've
show
got
you what a
Megan
fucking
fucking
Fox.
scary, bro.
bro. Imagine. I mean, she kind of.
I'm imagining
I
it right
would.
now. I would still let her.
I'm glad that both
Rip
of our
it and
minds were in
rip
the
it.
exact same spot, bro.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
I imagine it quite often. Megan, if
So-
you're out there.
Hey Zach, Dean, did you guys get a lot of severe thunderstorms today down in like San Antonio?
Yes.
You guys' area?
Yes.
Pretty much all
Yesterday,
day.
Friday to. Or,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
we had rain and stuff
Yeah.
here a little bit today, but it
Oh,
wasn't.
See, look,
nearly
that's
bad.
a-
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. She has one toe thumb and one not.
Yeah, that's like hammer thumb or something.
Is
There
that
was this-
hammer thumb?
Yeah, this
She'd be
this is
really good
fuck-
at video games where you have to do like the tap function. You know, it's
She'd be
like
really
the
good
shorter.
at fucking thumb war.
Bro,
Probably unbeatable.
it's like her knuckle has a nail on it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
She's so fine though.
For the record, Cody J, I actually had Canadian maple syrup for dinner tonight, so it's possible. You're not wrong.
Wow. Actually, I talked to
just had
your
maple syrup for
wonderful fiance today. She got you a wonderful gift.
She did, yeah. Fucking.
Can we
here, I'll
can we
you.
show those?
Yeah, those
Yeah.
stickers.
Am I getting one?
Yeah, if I guess I'll send you guys one. Look, she got a whole stack for me here.
Look at that. Look at that. Are they
a cool
holographic or are
surprise.
they the regular ones?
They're not holographic. They're just like really shiny, so they're hard to take a
Glossy?
picture of. Really glossy, but they're
I
super
like
cool.
it.
And like my Gen 1 sticker, so
The
It's
guy
nice.
on the thing, it
Yeah,
looks
they
like
look good.
you. I like that.
looks a little bit like me. Yes, yes.
That's a joke,
I even
obviously.
cast the same lighting.
Wow.
That's
I like
you? What? Can you imagine?
Man, today was wild. Today was wild. Just all the fucking just that lady that's like, my son will leave the dem. As if like Biden was really like, fuck, we better not do this. Fucking Karen's son in fucking Mississippi's is gonna leave the Democratic Party. What a dumb idiot. I
don't know who
had
that
honestly
is.
secondhand embarrassment from this stupid lady. Anyways, how was your day, Lane?
Long day at work. Got good news. Starting like this week, work from home 3 days a week now instead of 2.
Hey, sweet.
Let's fucking. And you're gonna be on OFAC tomorrow. Very cool.
Yep. I am looking forward to hanging with the Brits. And
Yeah,
then,
I love those guys.
yep. No, Ian's been already in touch with me and stuff, and
Attaboy.
had to take a half day off of work to be able to do it. But
What a guy. What a
do
true
what
fan.
you got to do.
What a true
Yeah,
fan. What a true fan. You love to
That's
see
a
it.
bucket list item for me. I used to love watching
Wow.
those guys before I was on the
Used
channel.
to.
I haven't
Paul,
got to watch them in a while.
Yeah.
just kidding. Your debut
Well, you know,
on Monday
he went
or
from
Tuesday.
the really good, of course, to appearing with the best.
You're not wrong.
You
You're
love
not
to see
wrong.
it.
That's superstars.
Now that you've
Especially
had a bit to digest your Tuesday night show outing, how did it go?
I liked it. Yeah, it was good. I felt like I'm finally warming up a little bit. Being on camera was a little unsettling the first couple times doing the unboxings, especially that first Batman statue was a little bit to undertake live on camera.
You might want to start it like I did, saying 6 scale rather than 3rd scale for your
Yeah.
first unboxing on
I
thing.
think
might
that was a
make it
mistake,
little bit
you know.
smaller.
Yeah, chipping it and everything. But last night was fun, man. I enjoyed it. That's my favorite show, obviously, throughout the week. But yeah, it was good. It's nice.
It
to
was
be on.
it was a fun show. I had a lot of fun, and I thought
Except for the
everyone
movie
made
of the week. But yeah.
Jesus Christ, everyone made really good points. I think I think we had a spirited discussion, as they say. I had a lot of
I think
fun.
it's funny when you were like, we have nothing to talk about, but then after the show ends, we still sat in the chat in the back room for like another 35 minutes, just like shooting the shit. It's like, we always have things to talk about.
That's the
You guys are
beauty
boys.
of of preparation. I was like, if we're not at cable at 45 minutes, we are fucked. And sure enough, we were at 55 minutes, and we made it to 209. I have a pretty good handle on like where we need to be on this thing, and that's why I'm a pro.
Can we talk a little bit? Can we talk a little bit about the Game of Thrones, or are we still on a spoiler ban for that shit? Because I ended up watching it after the show last night, so I never got a chance to.
Say, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to alienate.
That's fair. Got to give it a week, right? Okay.
Well,
okay.
no. No. Like people here to have fun. Like we're talking about buttholes. Like, you know, it would. I don't want anyone to have to leave because if a butthole comes up, like then they're gonna miss it. And I mean,
well, I mean, plus he wants to save that for earlier in the day possible stream. That might be like Friday night or something if there aren't enough statues or something like that. We can talk. What statues will we possibly get from House of the Dragon within the next year?
I had a lot of feelings about that show after I watched it, so I was like, I'm excited to talk about it at some point. Then.
Well, I've read.
We used to do Throne Talk for the final season of Game of Thrones. I want to do it for this. It's just
if you tune in on your bidet, I'm gonna fucking die. I'm not gonna lie. For Throne Talk.
No, you idiot! It's not that like Game of Thrones.
I know.
Ben.
I know. My God.
Jesus.
Come on. We're like two ships passing each other in the night.
Yeah,
we're just,
well, I'm sure there'll be a game if the way our discussion's gone about throne games, but it won't.
It's stuck in my head.
It will be the bathroom throne, not the actual throne.
Someone in the Patreon chat described it as a Downton Abbey mixed with Game of Thrones, and I thought that was pretty accurate.
That's interesting.
But it's also the first episode. Like,
I know.
They got to build that shit up. People want.
It was
like,
good.
Like,
I enjoyed it.
I don't want season 8 where there's
too.
fucking like one episode and just fucking like you gotta preheat the oven before.
Man,
you
let's
put
just
turkey
not
in, my
mention
guy.
Game of Thrones season 8. Yeah. I think that's just a better idea to pretend that didn't happen and everybody lived happily ever after.
There's actually one really good scene that I really like in season 8 when Daenerys is addressing her army and Drogon is fucking wings are behind her. That's like the coolest fucking shot.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think I just like when she had the psycho look on her face before I realized what she was going to do, and then was going, why is she suddenly
I feel
going
like
crazy?
I want to watch the finale now.
Bro, I can live with 90% of the decisions they made in season 8.
Really?
But they needed to explain more. So, like Daenerys, everybody tells Jon. Have we all seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody tells Jon, bro, Daenerys is gonna want you fucking dead now because you're like the rightful heir. Like, you're fucked, bro. So they get to King's Landing. She goes at ape shit, and they meet in the throne room. And the first thing she says to him is like, "Now we could rule together. Like, I'm in love with you." And then he kills her, and it's like, wait, what? Like, you should have given me like 2 episodes of like her really giving into the fucking dark side and like trying like to kill John or like, you know, do some like
or
skeevy
seeing
shit.
the mania or something like
Right,
that.
like
He
build
has
up the
that scene.
madness, like
He can't do it, but then sees the mania where she's like getting him to try and do something crazy, or
Right,
hurt people or something.
like
where
it was
going
just
against
like,
his
oh my god,
inherent
John,
character.
I'm so in love with you. This is great. And then he kills her. It's like that made 0 sense. And then the shit with Jamie Lannister. That was literally
Yeah.
the
Yes.
most
Thank
egregious
you.
shit I've ever seen on television. It's like
Yes.
he had arguably the most amazing story arc.
Such
You
an amazing
start off
story arc.
fucking hating him so much. He's such a piece of shit. And then like within like 3 seasons, you're like, bro, Jamie's a fucking good guy.
Yeah.
And then you like love him and you like don't want him to die. And then he's like, all right, I'm just gonna revert
Fuck
back
all
to
that.
season
I'm going back
1.
to
Bye.
Cersei. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I was like, bro, he's
Dude.
gonna fucking kill her. He's gonna walk up there and fucking like let her guard down. And he's gonna kill her, end the fight. Nope, he actually
he's the
fucking,
Kingslayer, so now he can become. He's filling that
Bro.
same kind of role again, being the Queenslayer.
fucking horse shit. And then the show with Bran is like, who here has a better story? Anyone
Literally
else?
fucking everybody. I had a better
Everybody
story.
here.
And I
Oh, Jesus, we're
just
gonna get
watching
going
it.
here.
Fucking their cousin, I forget, the Tully, he had a fucking better story.
Fucking
Like,
Hodor.
what the fuck is this? But yeah, if you just explain things more, like 2-3 more episodes,
Well,
I would have been okay.
all I can say is because I know with House of the Dragon, I've read the first book, Fire and Blood, which is supposed to be a in-universe like historical record of what's happening and stuff. This I have not seen the first episode, but I don't have HBO Max. I mean, I didn't watch until after season 8 had been finished, and I got the 4K Blu-ray set. That it's not gonna be like it's using some of the story stuff, which was like kind of a historic. I mean, it's lit in like historical annals by a holy man,
Annals?
and they're gonna still have more like Game of Thrones with more the drama and all that kind of stuff, like traditional Game of Thrones. The one thing I'm interested in for Game of Thrones that I want to see it become a train wreck, that I think it would end up being, is if they actually do move ahead with that Jon Snow spinoff. Kit Harington had a brilliant idea.
Don't need any more Jon Snow, to be completely honest. I'm good.
Because he's running around like wildlings, not trying to bang people to keep the, to continue the Targaryen
I
line
actually
of...
really enjoyed where they left Jon Snow. I think that's where he wanted to be.
He went back to the Watch, right?
I
no,
thought
he
he
went
was gonna
beyond the wall with the wildlings.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah,
I thought that was a beautiful ending for that character.
Weren't you guys rooting for him though to be the one that took out?
I mean,
that's
right.
right.
And the fact that didn't even happen, and then I remember
he never wanted it. You know what I mean? It's like I want him to be king, but
that's
he
why
doesn't want to be king.
But that's why I wanted him to be it, right? Because
that's true.
Because he had the heart, he didn't have the desire to rule like that. That's why he should have had that, and like
he's the guy who can unite the lands and bring the Targaryen line back from the edge of the abyss where they had been when they had. I forget the previous king, the Matt.
Exactly.
Hello.
Hey boys.
Hey man, how's it going?
Hey Cody.
Good.
I'm on Hero Force right now.
Yeah.
Cody, do you see my custom dice, bro?
Dude, they look sick. Do they roll pretty well?
I haven't rolled a... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to feature your camera. I haven't rolled a 20 yet, and I'm getting a little concerned. They're what is it? I just did it. Oh my gosh. Look at that. They're right there, baby. They're not hollow. I guess I could make them hollow, but I'm kind of concerned because if you do, the inner resin never dries, and I don't want that to come up at some point. I need to fill in some little divots and sand them, but this is not a bad thing.
You can put it in salt water and like move it around
Give it
and
an
see
old,
what your
give it an old
average
bean
is.
flick.
Yeah.
Whoa!
You gotta deal your dice before you play with them.
There you go.
That's good luck.
Hey, what was that set you were looking at? Getting Zach.
I'll
Was it
show
the
you.
Yawning Portal?
Yes, dude. I want that so bad.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. Look, I want this so bad. It's like 265. And okay, here's what really pissed me off. Okay, and I will say, in the grand scheme of things that happened to me today, I'm a very blessed individual. I completely understand that. So please don't come for me. This is my pity party.
What are you about to say?
Okay, so I work with people that need a little bit of extra help, disabilities, right? And there's a guy that I work with. He's not technically in the program that I work for, but we're really good friends. And he'll pay me to like help him out with things like, hey, like, can you help me go to HEB real quick? And the general agreement is like I'll pay you like $40 minimum, like, and it goes up from there. And he needed some help setting up a TV today, and it took like 2 hours to do, like set it up, mount it, get the lights on, whatever. And then I was like, all right, dude, I'll see you later. And usually he'll like slap me with a crisp, something or other. And I was like, oh, nothing today. But I was like, it was raining. Like, it was taking me like 30 minutes to get here. Like, it's kind of bummed. But I'm working with him on Saturday, so maybe he'll like be like, oh, I forgot to hit you up on
Throw me
the other day.
Bone.
But I was like, the thing that like I have, like, whenever I get this cash from, I put it. It's like my fun D&D money at the moment, like with all the resin and shit. So I was like, dude, I would have had like half of this saved up for this. But check this out. It's like a little set, but it comes with all the tables and everything, and then you just populate it with minis. So I was gonna print a bunch of stuff to put in here and like have a little scene.
Oh, dude,
have
that's
our
so
characters
cool.
at the bar.
Neverwinter is a game, and you could go to the yawning portal, and that's it. It looks just like that in the game. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's 2 levels, right? So
Yeah, it's 2
that's
stories.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
But
you
the
kept
upper
saying
story is
yawning
kind of
portal,
bare
and I was like,
bones.
yeah,
I've
it looks just
heard that
flat, right?
before.
It's on sale. It was $350, which seems kind of high for that, but it looked like
No,
they
it's
discounted it.
327 is high too. There's a website that has it for 265 shipped,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm like, bro, I was like, Victoria, it's on sale, and there's a shipping discount. I was like, think about it. I was like, I'll do literally anything.
I'll do
So
that
the
for you.
OnlyFans page is starting next week. With that being said,
For your ripped asshole.
fissured,
Whoa.
Cody,
Oh, sorry,
fissured.
We use medical
I was gonna say
terms here.
hemorrhoids. That's what I. That's
Oh,
what
I don't think I've ever had hemorrhoids. To be completely honest,
man.
I'm very fortunate in that regard. No, but there was just a lot of shit that happened today. Like obviously, I'm complaining about like $40 when I just got like $4,000 or $2,000 from the government. So like, in the grand scheme of things, I'm doing pretty good today. But I'm just like bummed about these little things. But I'm
Yeah,
excited.
don't let it
I
eat
hope.
you up, though. You know, like
No, it's
Yeah.
it's not. At the end of the day, like I got to hang out with my buddy, not a big deal. Man, I'm just so excited. Like I've, just being able to do this 3D printing stuff because I've been wanting to do it for years. Literally, I've been talking to Ian for years about this, and I don't know, it feels pretty cool. I feel pretty cool.
I have to say one thing. Having not talked about it yet, but I don't want to go into discussion about the actual thing.
And
I just say from having watched today and yesterday, I'm really kind of surprised how much discussion there you guys have had to do on that cable. Just because,
oh yeah, it's fucking terrible.
Well, no.
Speaking of that,
I just mean though for the simple. I don't mean for necessary. I don't want to get into a full discussion about like the figure or any. You guys talked about it a lot yesterday. But just how much discussion's been on a figure to me that is one that should have come out should have probably come out like 2 or 3 years ago at the same
Yes.
time as Deadpool, and is it one that actually people are going to really care about?
I'm gonna
At
keep
the
mine
end of the day, in
undecided.
comparison to
I think I'm gonna end up keeping mine just to go with my cable collection. Keep his clothes on. Looking at the pictures again today with him clothed, I think I'm still gonna stick to the pre-order because I don't know. I changed my mind, but
my question, just to kind of get into this, is just someone who's been watching, not talked about it or anything like that. Like I like the movie. I really like Josh Brolin's Cable. I don't love some of the origin stuff comparison to the comics, but that's just because I read his character for like 25 years. So I'm gonna have certain expectations of what I think would happen. But I still like the goofiness of Deadpool 2, and he worked in it. But like, I'm just meaning this more like I know Tony Stank was a big deal, but that was just a head sculpt. It wasn't necessarily an issue with like the actual Iron Man figure so much. But if there's a lot of discussion for this, like just putting it ahead here later this year, what if, I don't know, the like Chrome Mando or the Luke Skywalker, Mando Luke or something like that has a major problem with it, like the bodiless, goofy
I'd
body
call
or
them
whatever.
out, bro. That's what
I mean, the amount of I'm just kind of wondering, like, geez, what is the amount for that? Because I like Cable. I mean, no hot toy for the price point for a lot of these figures ever. It's a piece of junk. But the anticipation and kind of, there's different importance for stuff like that for different types of figures. One's kind of, I guess I would call it a headline figure or something, maybe for a line or something like that, or for time of year. So if one of those had kind of issues like Cable did, I'd hate to think how much discussion there would be on that, for one that a lot of people
probably the same amount of emotion. I'll be honest, like I'm not really like a moral compass, right? Like I will praise Sideshow and then literally like 4 minutes later just go on a rant about them. I call it like it is. I mean Sideshow. Like last show, like I was like, dude, Sideshow gave me the best customer service I've honestly ever had the last 2 times I talked to them. But also their fucking marketing is super misleading, and I think people are panic buying these figures. Like I have no problem calling things out. And I think some people don't like it. We've had a lot of comments. There was one recently that was like, you guys are so negative. Like I stopped listening for a year and came back, thought you guys would be better. Nope, still the same. It's like, well, I mean, would you rather me be negative or tell you lies? Like, because I'm gonna be fucking
At least
honest.
we're consistent.
If anything, I think that's actually exactly what I wrote. I was like, bro, if anything, we're
I just thought
conflicted.
it was interesting because I was watching Geeking Out a little. Because I really only appear with them now on Sundays most of the time, just because of work and other stuff. But I know that in their chat, when I was in it, popping in and out here earlier this evening, they were having some of the chat come after them because they weren't just destroying the figure.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's appropriate. I think if that's their genuine, you know, but
Yeah.
I think there's also a lot of people, not any of the people in my circle now, but there's been times like I'll talk to people, and I'm like, dang, dude, I can't believe you gave that review. Like, this figure's pretty bad. And they're, like, off camera, they're like, nah, dude, it sucks, but, you know, got to review it
got
how we
paid
got to
the
review it.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I was on Marco's stream earlier today, the Bargain Bin Boys, and I said something to the effect of like, you know, I don't want people to think I'm overly negative. I was like, but you gotta call it like you see it, and as long as you do it in a respectful way, where you're not like shit posting on like Hot Toys page or Sideshow's page. It's like if we just come out here and say like, hey, this is fucked up. This shouldn't be a thing. They can do better. I don't think that there's a problem with that. I think if we were like, oh, they're a bunch of cocksuckers, and you know, it's like, okay, well, I'm just being an asshole at that point. So,
Well, I think like you could make the comparison kind of, I don't, I don't know if anybody's really made the argument, and I don't want to talk about this because I might be talking about this tomorrow, actually myself, but like I don't I know I kind of maybe implied, hey, maybe it was all right because this was some of the issues with the body because it was a lower priority figure, but I guess what would go against that is if we look at like say the Mysterio Iron Man. There's no way that was a priority figure by any means of the imagination necessarily in comparison to certain other figures that are coming out. But that one actually, the engineering and all that turned out pretty good, and the detail and all that. There was like the time and effort in the base and all that put into it, and that was definitely maybe not cable lower tier, but you know what I mean. For expectation for that one. I think in comparison to other ones or your standard Iron Man figure.
No, I agree.
Yep.
No, it's crazy.
How's it going, Cody? What are we working on today?
Oh man, I worked on Dungeons and Dragons stuff today because we were supposed to stream later today, and then it kind of fell through. So that's okay though. It was scheduling
Well,
stuff.
it's not that it fell through. We have a very high bar of quality here at Collecting Weekly, and I kind of pulled the rank this morning. I was like, I don't think any of us are prepared for tonight. I don't want to put on a shitty show. I'd much rather do After Dark, and then we'll push it to next week. And everyone agreed, and I think we're better for it. I'll say that.
I think so too, man.
But it should be fun. And then next session after that, we're fighting a dragon. So, Paul, actually, if you are free, we're playing next Wednesday instead. So,
Okay. Yeah. it
you're
should-
welcome
yeah,
to
that should
join if
work
you'd
out.
like.
We'd love to have you.
Should be good. Cody, have
Other
you
than
ever
that, man,
played?
not a lot. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, have you ever played Riffs? It's an older '90s. It's
Let me take a look.
it's kind of scatterbrained. It's a little all over the place, but I fell in love with them as a kid because they had a Robotech source book and stuff, and they included Robotech in its universe, which was cool. But
It looks really cool. I've never
the
played it.
artwork is what drew me in as a kid. It's going in the gaming shop here locally when I was a kid, and the artwork just sucked me in. I bought as many of those as I could, earn money for. And the game is rough, but it's cool. It's very cool. It's a cool world, so you should check them out.
That looks, yeah. I was gonna say, I'm looking at some of the art here. They have like a giant robot horse with like a marauder on the back, and it's got like guns coming out of its face.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks really cool.
It's wild, and their source books. They even brought in like TMNT into it and stuff. That universe. So yeah,
That's awesome. There's a couple things I kind of want to try, depending on like where Collecting Weekly goes with our tabletop side of things. I'd really like to play like Powered by the Apocalypse because it's a little bit of a like simpler system, and it runs off of narrative role play for making things like happen or work. So instead of the dice deciding everything, you get like either a complete failure, a complete success, or what's called like a partial success, which is where like players and the dungeon master get to work together to figure out like this is what I get, but this is what like my high risk, high reward situation. So I think that would be cool to try out, and it narratively flows a little bit better than D&D's like what's this specific rule for this thing happening in this scenario and turns.
If I may,
Yeah.
I felt like, personally for me, I know like in our first D&D campaign, you had kind of brought up like maybe we should switch to Pathfinder. It'd be so much easier. And to me, that was one of the things that really killed that campaign for me. I was like, I think you were really trying to push us to Pathfinder. I was like, dude, I told Dean, I was like, bro, if he switches to Pathfinder, I quit the show. Like, I will not play Pathfinder.
I have.
Maybe it wasn't Pathfinder, but you had some like different system that you wanted us to play instead of D&D. I was like, I'm here because I've wanted to play D&D my whole life, not because I want to play.
I think it was
like,
a Roll20. I think that was the initial Roll20 pushback before we figured out that it was going to be so easy, if I remember right.
I'm pretty sure it was
because we had a pretty big like.
No,
conflict
that
back
was
and forth
also a
about
big
it.
thing.
Yeah,
that was also a big thing, but I think that was a bit different. There was a pushback there, but obviously I think it worked out. But I'll be honest, bro. Now that I think we're all starting to learn the rules, I definitely don't want to not play D. Like like that's kind of where I'm at. Like I'm just telling you straight up as like the Oxfather, like I'm a D&D boy. You know what I mean?
totally. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm just letting you know, my guy. That would be a toughie for me.
20 years. I love Dungeons and Dragons. There's like now there's so many like updated campaign settings. You can go anywhere, do anything. You can do.
And actually, you never sent me a picture of your minis. I was kind of upset.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So what's the easiest way to get into D&D then? Like I've never played. Like if I was like I want to join you guys at some point, like what's the way? How do you even start?
I would start with YouTube. To be honest with you, there's hundreds of people that have like way higher production value than we have.
What, bro?
Hours.
No.
Hold on.
Dungeon, like the best shows. I honestly think our production is up there, bro.
No. I'm saying like just for like background and lore and like explaining the mechanics. Like there are like specific channels designed for that. Like XP to level 3, the Dungeon Guys,
Dungeon Dudes,
Steely Sam on TikTok. Like they would just go through and like scroll and tell you like this is the basics of how this work or this is the lore behind this, and then you just find the thing that you're most attracted to. So like with Zach's like I want to play Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. That's what I want to be. He's like, all right, let's make it happen. Right? And Dean was like, I want to be a warrior, but I don't want it to be too complicated, but I also want to like wreck house. And I was like, all right, you're a paladin. Right? So you find what you like, and then you see how you can apply it character wise.
There's like Batman builds for D&D.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
You could be Darkwing Duck if you wanted to be. Like it's pretty fucking crazy. Like,
there you go. That's amazing.
So you take the thing you love the most, and then you figure out a way to make it work.
It would probably be Batman, honestly. That's a good cut.
Saying, bro.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's like and if you want to play Batman, there's like 10 videos on YouTube of like if you want to play Batman, you're new to D&D. Here's what I would do to make Batman work in D&D, and it's like. Yeah. You know, reflavoring of some spells. But Cody, check Drive. I just sent you the template that you wanted for Roll20 as an overlay.
Oh, sweet.
It's a little bit of wider on the edge, but I think it'll work for general purposes.
I can adjust it in Roll20. That won't be an issue.
Okay.
Sweet.
But that's how professional we're doing a show and we're here editing graphics live. Yeah.
It's I don't know. Like D&D's fun. It's like I think Roll20 has been the simplest thing because we took all the math out of Dungeons and Dragons, and now all you have to do is click a button.
Is that just
and
me?
the computer does everything else for you.
We're losing you a little bit.
Yeah, you're getting a little Robetronic. No one reacted, so I was like, oh wow.
We have a thunderstorm going on right now.
There we go.
So it's like really bad, but a
generational
office is kind of soundproof. So
no, it's okay. You're just getting a little Robetronic on us, but
it's a tough nut to swallow, Cody.
Oh my God, Ben is nuts.
Wow, that would just went with the blood.
New favorite. John has dropped one now.
Oh my gosh, what's going on with this audio today? Anyways, anyone have anything they want to add? We're about an hour 13 in. Anyone want to mention anything before we close this one off?
I mean, buttholes, Batman, D&D, and like some Game of Thrones talk. I feel
3D
like it was
printing,
a successful show.
A little bit of politics. We touched them all tonight, boys. We touched them all.
Well-rounded.
Paul's visiting us in October. Lane, you're welcome to come to the festivities. Cody, we will be flying you out for D&D movie in March, by the way.
It's my birthday
month, nice. Oh, nice.
You're going to fly him out? How long do I have to be friends with you guys before Dean flies me out somewhere?
You're already flying out here, you dingus.
No, I want you to fly me out. I don't want to fly my own self out. That's
I mean, that's a figure of speech, man. Jesus Christ.
And, you know.
Terrible. Yeah, there you go.
They called it. We have this big slingshot. We're gonna like pull you back half a mile and then just launch you into the air, and hopefully you'll be able to travel. Mach 10 or Mach 3 right over to Texas, and not splat on the ground.
Look what I got today. The T-Rex.
Oh, nice T-Rex.
Oh, nice.
So how many T-Rexes do you now have in some form or format?
Oh, that's a great question, Lane.
Because you got the big one back there, the Jurassic Park statue.
I think I just have actually four.
I think I just ordered actually today my first Godzilla stuff. Even though I've been a Godzilla fan for like 30 years or 35 years. Since I was 10 years old. Oh, nice.
What's that, Cody?
Do we have the same one? Oh.
No, yours is the WizKids one. Mine is the blind box one.
Oh. I painted mine. Thank you. This is back when I was painting a lot.
I remember I just got rid of like a year ago, 2 years ago, all my what do you call them? The WizKids makes them. The
noise
comic things, the HeroClix.
I tried to play HeroClix once. It was honestly, and I've played Warhammer, I've played X-Wing minis, I've played D&D, I've played so many games. I have never been more confused in my entire life than I was trying to play HeroClix. I had no
I wasn't
idea
very good at it.
on.
I had a much easier time actually. I still have some of I think most of my miniatures and cars of the X-Wing before they did the conversion. Because there are a couple places, actually one place that's only a mile from my house, and then where my main LCS, they do a bunch of like Warhammer and X-Wing and miniatures and all that stuff. They have like 8 or 9 tables set up for all that stuff, and it's a huge place. And towards the back, they got where they hold their Pokemon tournaments and all that kind of stuff, as well as Magic the Gathering.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a place called Dragon's Lair here in Austin. It's a pretty
Hey, we
big
have Dragon
store
Slayer here in San Antonio too. Nice.
Yeah, I think they have a couple.
Let me show you, Jason. This is the Talons and Fangs. You can get it for like $15. It's not an expensive mini by any means, but I'm gonna repaint mine at some point because I like the color, but mine has like really bad paint splotches on it. Like on the green, there's like a bunch of tan from the belly. Cool mini. It's fucking huge.
Man,
too.
look
It's
at that
awesome.
gator neck, dude.
Well, the D&D, like the rulebook art for the T-Rex is very like not Jurassic
so
Park
bad.
looking. But it has its charm to it, right? It has a little bit of charm to it. Anyways, tomorrow. Sorry, go ahead, Cody.
I was gonna say that I think that's my biggest disappointment with the online D&D stuff is the art budget's not there compared to like the books or some of the stuff. Like some of it's on point, some of it they reuse from the books, like for main characters and that kind of thing. But I really wish that they'd take some of those higher budget art pieces they do and some of the like splash pages or double spreads and get licensing for that to update tokens to make them look a little nicer. And granted, I mean, we can make our own tokens too. It's not that hard, but
I mean, we make
that's
them
my-
all the time.
my beef. Yeah.
Eventually, I'm gonna get Arthur and Faye printed in 3D. It's gonna be fucking dope.
man.
Can't wait. And I have all my no, I don't want to spoil it. That's in-game stuff. I got like so many minis that I've made that we haven't used yet that you don't even like. I'm just gonna drop them on you one day. Like, yo, these are my new characters, bro.
That's fine.
Fucking. I was so okay. So we're playing a one shot, and I was so excited. I made this character. What is his name? Let me see. I have it on my phone. Meek. Let's see. What was it? Meek Swiftwhisker was his name. I was so fucking stoked to play this character for the one shot. Yeah, out of nowhere, Cody's like, "Oh, you're playing your first campaign character." I was like, "What? I don't want to play Zanvin. I want to play something different." But we have. I know. I was just so excited to play my little mouse folk character. But yeah. Anyways, we have OFAC tomorrow. We have club on Friday. Dean's out of town. You're out of town, right, for this weekend?
Yeah, tomorrow.
So
through
I
Sunday.
don't know what we're doing on the weekend if we're streaming and all, but maybe you guys will have a nice night with your families. Anyways,
I want more Let's Draw. That's what I want.
Yeah.
well, I can't let's draw without Dean. He's the
Sure,
main
let's
drawer.
paint. Zach.
Ooh,
wait, with
that
the one-
could be fun.
Wait, what did you say?
Let's paint. I would join you for that. I don't have the camera set
Watercolor?
up for it, but I would totally.
Yeah, just another joy of hobbying. That'd be dope. My mini will be done by then.
I could teach you guys how to cross stitch, and we could cross stitch like
Hell
grandmas
yeah.
together. Like, let's figure
Yeah.
out shit.
His
D&D
cross stitching is
blanket when I'm
badass.
DMing. You know, I cold
Yes.
Cody sometimes.
Dude, you could hand stitch our sweat towel.
Nothing's gonna be that crispy. I'm not touching that fucking towel, all right, buddy? Whatever.
Cody, for the one shot, are we supposed to make a character or?
Yeah, man, you just make a character, and we're gonna fit it in there.
What?
You
If
can
you
make
make
Burns' third brother if you wanted.
Because
to.
my first campaign was Burn.
Burn. Yeah. That'll all get explained in like the next 3 episodes as to how all of that fits together. Holy cow! Look at that,
Yeah, his are
Ben. That's
incredible.
awesome. Holy shit.
Yeah, let me solo. Oh, I can't solo cam him. Zach, can you do it?
Yeah, so I'm almost done this one. So this is pretty cool.
Ben, how long did that take you?
I'm over 100 hours on this one now.
cool.
They take a long time because it's like it's 14,000 stitches, but every stitch you do twice, right? So it's like 28,000 stitches. It's a lot. It's a lot of time. But I used to watch streams all the time and just stitch or smoke
That's
one, and
cool.
got all the Canadian green, right? So yeah, you just get into the zone.
Nice.
Yeah, so we got a great week of content. I love you guys. Hopefully Tuesday I'll have some cool 3D prints to show off on the show. But yeah, I think we'll try to do something Saturday. I don't know what, but I will try my damnedest to pull something together. Love you guys, and we'll catch you on the next After Dark.
I'm Zach.
Bye.